Hey friends, so this is my first Instagram TV series video that I wanted to upload, and I wanted to talk about our video Eyes Open Wide. Not as so much of a sponsorship that you should watch it, because if you haven't already, you can watch it after this video, but I wanted to describe and explain the meaning of this song because this is one of our deepest songs yet, and it means a lot to me, and I think it will be pretty cool to have a lot more people understand it the way how I see it, and the band sees it as well. First, I wanted to show off my jacket so you know what it's about, because some people have asked me questions. This is my grandfather's jacket. That his name was Walt, and I never actually got to meet him, but he was in the army at one point, and this jacket fits me perfectly. So I figured, why not have it in this video, because it is kind of like war related. So as you can see, I put the stars upside down because you'll get the meaning once when I describe the song. But this was from Boy Scouts. This is a gold pen little slot machine that's actual gold, and it is I got from my aunt a while ago, and it just describes like gambling in America and fuck war. We got a rabbit here, trust no one, and then we have I want to leave, which is really accurate right now with Area 51. I owe you nothing with a bunch of weapons, a beautiful girl, and then I have canceled. And then the back, the Sharpie part is actually my grandfather had this drawn, and I think it's supposed to be him running around in the battlefield. And then I put a big snake in the back. And other than that, I think I have a feather right here because I'm getting a feather tattoo on the back of my arm soon. And I also have a hidden Easter egg, Pac-Man. But yeah, so this is, oh yeah, and also this beautiful little angel with an AK-47. But yeah, anyways, that's my jacket. So then you guys can see why. What was he wearing in that? I don't understand. Somebody asked a few questions about that on my personal page, so I went ahead and told you. So anyways, let's start with these lyrics. So this song is very dark, and when I say dark, it's very political dark, but it's in a good way where it's pretty safe, I think. It's not choosing either side. If anything, it's choosing no side. I wrote this inspired off of the movie Fight Club, actually, and also just like overall society today. So, first lyrics. Back at ground zero, 6 months no sleep. All the doctors, all the therapists haven't fixed me. Self-explanatory. Just you're running on empty, and you're doing all the things that society tells you to do whenever you need help. All the doctors, all the therapists haven't fixed me. Like, you're still not being fixed, and you're running on empty, and you're just, yeah. And the other line is, why do people care what we scream when death is more than just a dream? Another pill, another speech, this is a barrel in our teeth. This line is very deep because it's saying, like, you take medication to feel better and to continue and stuff, but, like, you know, death is more than just a dream. That will happen someday, and we don't want to miss the opportunity of living our lives now, and, you know, taking all this stuff and hearing another speech from America saying, like, oh, you know, this is how you be happy. And the definition of happy is a very blunt, very one-sided way when society tells you what you need to be happy. So for the person I am doesn't like where I've been. I only seem happy when there's blood on my skin. All this rage needs to be released. Another face for my fist to me. This was very Fight Club inspired. Just kind of like you're letting out aggression, but you don't really want to. It's kind of like in Fight Club when they had that basement scene and they just like beat the living shit out of each other. You didn't really want to do it, but you fed off of it, and it just made you feel like a good person, even though you weren't being a good person at all. Doubt me, fuels me, doesn't change a thing. What gives you the right to destroy our dreams? Self-explanatory right there. You know, it's how society tells you what you need to do, and they're destroying what you actually want. They're destroying your dreams. We're worthless, we're arrogant, following like sheep. They blind our eyes with their mask of reality. That is another good one. Just, you know, you watch the news every day, and it says, like, oh, this is what, you know, people are doing to you know, cure this and all that, and it's not. And so that was another good one that I liked. This is my favorite line, is, we're the rats in the streets, forced to live on our knees, will never reach the top when the snake has to feed. So in society, I think you can relate that a lot of people in this world, in at least the U.S. and other countries, They're rats, and they're led by one person or a few people, which I would call the snakes. So, like, say 99% is rats. I'm a rat, you're a rat, everyone's a rat. And then, like, the government, the high government that tells us to go to war and tells us to do this and that, they're the snakes. And they choose whenever they want to feed, and they choose whenever we want to go to war. We cannot choose that. I don't believe we do, because a lot of people say we don't want to do this, and then somehow something happens, and yeah, so uh, then the chorus, we can't live being taught how to die, filled with the hatred that's buried inside. We can't just wash this away. That was the first chorus, and is brilliant. I think it's great. And you can't wash something away that is permanently messed up and is, and we're being taught how to die as far as like, we wake up in the morning and we have to do what we want to do, or what we have to do to be happy. And also, when people have to go to war, you have to go to war. Like, if you signed up for the army and you have to do this and you don't agree with it, you still have to do it. And which, again, that's you signing up for it. But there is a part where, people couldn't choose if they wanted to go to war, and that's scary. This fight won't end with all these lies. Without pain, without blood, there is no sacrifice. That's pretty self-explanatory. Um, so this is the chorus again. So how can we live when we're told how to die, having us pay with our own... Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry, I read this wrong. I'm going to read this part. But how can we live when we're told how to die, having us pay with our own fucking lives? We're made for more than just following a crowd. Our voices forgotten. We're screaming it loud. This is as all of us know in society that this is wrong, and we're screaming that loud, and it's not being heard, and we still can't... We're a rat. A bunch of rats screaming does nothing. A snake will still feed off of the rat. So then there's that. And this one is my favorite. This is, or not my other favorite. Yeah, it is my favorite. It's the breakdown. So it's the most meaningful part. So how many times will the world watch and pray when our loved ones die every fucking day? Bullets paint the sky, reaping innocent lives. So how many times will the world watch and pray? Is basically saying whenever a tragedy happens, as far as a school shooting, a mass shooting, people go online and they say, like, we put our prayers and we hope the best for these people and their families and stuff, and that does nothing for anybody. It basically just shows that you're kind of writing something that you feel that you need to say today, but it doesn't do anything to actually help the cause. And like society, as far as like the news and everything, they just go on and on and on and on, and they go so deep into these stories that we should not have to hear about how a kid literally picks up a gun and shoots the teacher in the face or something like that. That's really that's what the news and society will do. And it doesn't help when people post online. It just makes, I think, it all worse. It all recycles. It gives a kid another idea to do it again, because people make it such a tragedy. And it is a tragedy. It just shouldn't be a tragedy so much online. So let me see where I'm at. Yeah, and then bullets paint the sky, reaping innocent lives. Those are all the basic people say in war. In war, there's a bunch of people, right? A ton of them. And then there's the two people that decided, or the group of people, the small group of people that decided to go to war. These people are fighting, and these are innocent lives in a way. And then the two people, or the people that decided to go to war, they're alive. And I don't find that very fair, because if you decide to do something, you shouldn't make other people do your dirty battles. So where are we? So how many times does man die in war before we realize there's no cure? That's exactly what I just explained. Too many people fighting here, and it still has caused nothing. We've been in Civil War, World War I, II, countless wars. I can go on. There's a huge list. You obviously know. You've been around. And there still is no cure. We're always talking about the next war, and that is very scary to talk about. And then it says, born slave die, gun in my mouth, eyes open wide. So if you were to scream this at, say, the government, and they were to choose, they can choose whether or not to take you out, put you in jail for life, or in some countries they would just kill you right on the spot. So born slave die is basically you're born, you slave, you do what you don't want to do, and you die. And gun in my mouth, eyes open wide is you understanding that when he aims the gun at your mouth, your eyes are open, knowing that you are understanding what is going on. And that is the deepest part of this song, and it was perfectly put in the breakdown, and I'm so happy with it. And then, other than that, we have where the rats in the streets, forced to die on our knees, will never reach the top when the snake has to feed. So that's what this whole song is about. It's very anti. It's I am a man of love and peace, but I also have some um, anger inside of me that is very frustrating, and I tend to let it out in music and just in a healthier way than actually physically beating the shit out of somebody. And and this, like I said, this does not go against people that are in the army. I do respect people in the army because we do need some sort of self-defense, but there's just a lot of shady shit going on these days, and we don't know who's actually right, and if we find out the truth. And anyways, I wish you all the best. Definitely keep the peace signs up, and I will see you later.